Okay.
Hello and welcome again. This is Gertrude here in Wellington, New Zealand. Today I have the honor of interviewing yet another amazing best-selling author by the name of Michael Losier. I had the pleasure of meeting Michael in 2008 when he toured New Zealand promoting his book called The Law of Attraction. So a lot of you who have watched The Secret think that The Secret started there. The Secret actually started with Michael before, when he published the book called The Law of Attraction. Michael, welcome. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great, thank you. And I am here on the beautiful west coast of Canada on an island, not as big as your island in New Zealand, but I'm on an island as well, in the total opposite end of the planet.
Fantastic. Michael, I'm really eager to talk to you today because I know that you are a very successful author and you have some very creative ways in which you've managed to sell your books. So today we're going to be talking about 5 things you need to know about Google Hangouts and how you can sell more books.
Yes. Yes, I'm very excited. So, you know what, this ties really nice into your business, which is, you know, helping authors and giving authors some marketing ideas and working with authors. And people would be remiss if they are not using Google Hangouts to do that. So when you're ready, I'm ready to give you my 5 little secrets about how using Google Hangouts. Well, first I'm going to introduce a little bit about myself. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Michael Losier. Here's my book here, Law of Attraction. I sold 1.8 million copies in 34 languages. My other book right here, Law of Connection, I sold 500,000 copies of that in 31 languages. And I have a weekly Hangout show that's called Hangout with Michael. And guess what it's all about? It's all about Law of Attraction. So today, Gertrude, you and I are going to have a discussion about how using, why is using Google Hangouts such a big deal for an author? Let me know when we get started.
That's awesome, Michael. The beautiful thing about the internet right now and YouTube and Google is that the world is now flat. And most people don't realize that they can harness the law of the internet, the tools using the internet to reach the world globally.
Yes.
And you have created a fantastic model in where you're reaching the world by running these Hangouts and connecting with your audience, connecting with your readers, and selling your books and your programs.
Oh,
so
and
let's
I never,
start off,
yeah. Yeah.
Let's
and
start off with your backstory, how you hit on this fascinating idea to use Google Hangouts.
Right. Well, thank you. You know, I've been doing teleclasses for a number of years, and my most favorite training is always in person, like you saw me. I love being on stage, and I'm also a trainer. I'm not a speaker. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a motivated trainer. So I love training. When I was doing teleclasses, I did a really good job. People had handouts. But then, a year and a half ago, I was a guest on Alex Mandossian, who is like, he is like the Larry King of Google Hangouts. I was a guest on his Hangout, and within 15 minutes, you know what I said? I'm doing one of these. I'm doing one of these. You know, just a little bit. My other book, Law of Connection, is an NLP-based book, which is really about the 4 different communication styles. Now, one of the reasons why I like Google Hangouts so much because it satisfies all the styles. If I was just on an audio, if I was just doing an audio, you know, like a book or reading something, I'm just going to satisfy the auditory student. If it was a picture book, just the visual. In other words, you can't satisfy all the learning styles by leaning over on a podium giving a lecture. 3/4 of the group doesn't like that. Or I can't just talk for an hour. Or I can't get you to look. In other words, we have to have a good blend of the learning styles. And you know what? Google Hangouts allows me to do that. So within minutes of being on Alex Mandossian's Hangout, I thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for sure. So I've developed a show. It's every Friday, 9 o'clock Pacific time on the west coast of Canada. And it's at Hangout with Michael. I've done 67 episodes. And every subject I've done is on law of attraction or law of connection. So today, Gertrude, I'm going to give you the top 5 reasons why you, as an author, should be doing Google Hangouts, even before I give you the list, I'm going to tell you the real secret.
It sounds exciting, Michael. I can't wait to learn more.
Here it is. Look at the statistics on YouTube. Now, why is that important? Because Google and YouTube are the same people now.
Yes.
YouTube is the second search engine. Google's the first. They love each other. If you search Law of Attraction on Google right now, I'm ranked high. How come? Because I'm playing with Google Hangouts. And Google says, oh, we like YouTube and Google Hangouts because we own them, and we want to, do you understand the relationship between those two channels, those two entities? So when I do my Google Hangout show,
it gets listed. Not many people are aware that Google and YouTube are one main thing now.
That's right. So when I do a Google Hangout on Friday, I have about 150 people watching it live, and before Sunday I had 1,000 people view it. I've had 150,000 views on my Hangout shows, and they're only a half hour long. So I want to go back. This is not a tip. This is a fact. I want everyone to get it. YouTube, how big is big? It is the second biggest search engine possible. That's one reason why we want to know about it. The other reason why is because it's Google's best friend. So when you do something, this Hangout right now, as you know, is going to go to YouTube 1 minute after we're done it. You don't have to upload. You don't have to download and cross-load and edit. It's up there, and then people will find it. It has a long, long shelf life. Oh, put a little video on your website. Boring. Sorry, I fell asleep. Who cares? No one's going there. It's all about how it gets listed. So Gertrude, here is my top 5 reasons why you and our author friends at home should be considering doing a Hangout. Does it have to be a weekly Hangout show? I don't know. Do you want to build a business? I think you do. 2 years ago, as you know, you said I was in New Zealand. For 7 years, I was home 1 week a month. I was traveling all over the world, and I loved it. This year, in 2014, I went away for 1 weekend. I changed my entire business model. I'm doing a 20-hour program using Google Hangouts. 20 hours. They're 4 hours long over 4 Saturdays. Sometimes I do a 3-hour class. Sometimes I do a 20-hour class. So, authors, here's why you might want to consider. It doesn't even have to be a show. It just could be an interview. By the way, just doing it by yourself without people on the panel, boring. You want an engagement. So here is
what I ask you to do, Michael, is after you've given us a tip, I'd love to jump in there and ask you a few questions.
Okay, great. Good. So here is tip number 1. Or the reason number 1, rather. Reason number 1 is because you get to introduce yourself as being the author, and here's how I do it. Hello, my name is Michael Losier. I'm the author of the best-selling book, Law of Attraction, and the best-selling book, Law of Connection. And today's conversation and today's show is boom, boom, boom. So you see how I got to give exposure to my 2 books? Some people said, oh, I didn't know he had another book. It was just, if you were going to introduce me at a New Zealand seminar, you would do the same thing. You would say he's a best-selling author of this book and this book. So reason number 1, you get to give exposure to your book. I'm not promoting them. I'm just saying I'm the author of the best-selling book, Law of Connection and Law of Attraction. That is reason number 1. Reason number 2 is, oh, I'm sorry, what's behind me? You cannot not see it.
You have the poster behind you.
You cannot not see it.
Yes.
I might not even refer to it. Well, I do refer to it. Matter of fact, I do this. You know, well, today we're talking about Law of Attraction. You know, in the process of Law of Attraction, in other words, I keep pointing to it. I don't say go out and buy one. So far, you know, I've got 2 books. You know, I'm the author of the best-selling book, Law of Attraction, and the other best-selling book, Law of Connection. Oh, by the way, it takes a lot of training to learn how to do that. Okay? So let's just recap. Number 1 was the introduction. Can you give me your feedback about that, Gertrude?
So basically with the introduction, you're saying who you are, you're saying where you are, and you're just giving information that you are the best-selling author of one or multiple books.
That's right, and that's what we all want. We all want the exposure to say that we're an author. So we need to be able to learn how to do that. So I'm the author of the book, the best-selling book, Law of Attraction. Matter of fact, it sold 1.8 million copies in 34 languages. Whew.
Wow.
Great. Okay, good. Tip number, so that was tip number 1. Tip number 2 is the sign in the background. Tell me about your feelings about that. What's that like for you to see that as a watcher?
Well, okay, so you've taught me a little bit about how you should dress the background of your room or wherever you're giving that interview or presentation.
Yes.
You want the focus to be around the content you're talking about, correct?
That's right, but this being in the background, you know when they interview movie stars for an upcoming movie, sometimes in the background you see the title of the movie. Well, you know, yeah. They sit in that room and the media comes in and they interview them one after another after another. They always have that in the background, and they never talk about it. It's
so
just in the background.
It's just there, and subliminally people are taking that information in without you actually saying it. So the people who are very visual will pick up on it, correct?
Well, everybody can see it, but here's my little secret, is that I make the book the hero, not me. You know, in my book, in my book, I talk about the 3 words to eliminate from your vocabulary. So it's not me telling you, I'm making the book the hero. So now that particular book is made out of fabric, so when I travel and do my show, I'm in a hotel room. You'll see, if you look at my 67 episodes, I'm in hotel rooms in Hong Kong, I'm in hotel rooms in Malaysia, because I have a good travel sign to bring with me, so because I'm dedicated. Now, I'm going to be in China in a couple months on the day of my show, so I have one of my regulars co-hosting my show. They're going to take my show over because it's like 3 in the morning. I thought, but other than that, I've done every show. So let's just recap again. In the introduction, hold and show your book. Oh, by the way, I'm going to show you what not to do. Here's what to do. Put it beside your face. You don't want to, you know, it's too big. So tip, put it beside your face. Now, I'm always holding signs up during my show, and even when I get you to read it bigger, you know, I'll kind of peek off to the side. Remember, accelerated learning technique, we're capturing the attention when you do this. So number 1, hold the book. Number 2, have a big sign in the background. You'd never know it, but this sign here is a little rubberized sign that rolls up that I can take with me as well. It's just pinned on. It looks pretty big, doesn't it? It's only about this big.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, here's number 3. You're looking at it. Michael Losier, www.hangoutwithmichael.com. After I do my Google Hangout show on Friday, like I said, within 3 days, 1,000 people got it. We tell our database, and people are finding it. Right away, I never have to tell you what my website is, ever. I want you to write this down, www.hangoutwithmichael.com. I'll point to it. I say, and for those of you that want to join my Law of Attraction community, it's right here. And, you know, I'm going to show you another example. I have another, you know, I just want to show you one more thing. The lower third is really important. So today's topic, we're talking about Law of Connection. Oh, look at that. I have a new lower third. So this is taken from my book, Law of Connection. And you see how the lower third can be branded. Look at my name, Law of Connection. Wow. And the other thing I want to show you, you know, and I also do a facilitator training program. So I might do this. I might say, Michael Losier, Certified Law. In other words, I have different banners for the different parts of my businesses. Say yes if that's brilliant.
That is absolutely awesome, Michael. You make it easy for people to remember who you are, and because you're recording the Hangout, somebody who will watch it later will have all the information on hand, correct?
Now, people watching it are, well, not only that, Gertrude, when this is done, I go into YouTube and we put a clickable link, because I encourage people to join my community. While they're watching the video, a little link that comes here, click here, that Michael's talking about it right now. Once a month on my Hangout show, you know, my Hangout shows are taking topics from these two books here. I have a third book that I'm working on. It's called Fulfillment Needs. I've been working on it for 3 years. The first thing I do is the cover. And I've got about 6,000 people that said, let me know when it's ready. 6,000 people. You know why? I did 4 hangout shows on it. And I've been teasing people and telling people about this book, so they're going to the website. So, that's another sidebar. I do the cover first. This cover has been done for can the publisher change it? Yes. Do I care? No. It's about getting people interested in the subject. So I would have a lower third. So let's just recap the tips again. Hold your book during the introduction. Have a sign in the background. Have your URL in the lower third, and with the book cover if that fits.
Fantastic. And I guess the book cover is crucial because that's your real estate. It shows the end result of what you're working on. And you're literally pre-selling the book while you're working on it and writing it, correct?
Yeah. Well, no one's paying me for it. I'm just getting people interested and getting their permission. I think the email says, yes, I'd like to find out when the book is available. Good. So then the last tip I just gave you was the lower third. Oh, here's the other thing. Just for a minute, so during today's class, what I want to do is just read a quick little quote from here. See me looking for it? See me looking for it? Okay, so the speed at which law of attraction will manifest our desires is determined. Now, do you think I need to read that after 9 years? No. Why would I pick up the book to read a quote from it? Because I'm making the book the what? Hero.
The main thing.
No, I'm making the book the hero.
Make the book the hero.
The book has the process in it. The book has the quote in it. The book has the worksheets in it. I've done this so many times, and I know I'm going to sound ingenuous, and it is a little bit. When I was in New Zealand, I could have picked up any book upside down and said, okay, let me read something here. The speed at which, in other words, I know what I'm saying, but I want people to know the book is the hero.
I love it.
Yes.
Absolutely love it, Michael.
Okay,
so again, you're constantly exposing your book in as many ways as you possibly can throughout the Google Hangout, correct?
That's right. And then when this Google Hangout is done, the title says this, episode number 1, how to reset your vibrations using law of attraction with Michael Losier. It has the word how to. All videos that are in Google and YouTube that have the word how to or learn how rank higher. So, how to use law of attraction to reset your vibes with Michael Losier. The title of this show becomes the title in YouTube, which you can change later, is the #1 search engine reasons for YouTube. So make sure that title is really smart. Now, here's the other topic. So today's topic, we're going to talk about relationships. It's a section in my book on relationships. So every topic that I've done 67 shows, every topic comes from one of these 2 books.
Wow. So really, again, you're giving people a taste of what is in the books by using the topics in the books for your Google Hangouts, correct?
Yeah. Just go to hangoutwithmichael.com, look at any episode. It's a 30-minute show that I do. I spend 12 minutes on a topic, and before the 12 minutes and after the 12 minutes, it's me having a discussion with the panel about the subject. So you don't need 30 minutes of content. You only need about 12 if you have a panel. And you know what the panel's always talking about? My book, my training, how their lives changed. If you were on my panel, you might do the same thing. You'd say, oh, I loved Michael's book. It really changed. It's like, see, I don't have to say anything. You did. So the last tip,
love it.
Take topics from your book. Now, the other thing I just want to briefly share with you is that, I have a Google Plus community that's lots of fun, of course, which is my favorite thing. And I recently, because my book is published in 34 languages, I recently had a contest. And the contest, I'd like to share it with you. It was called Take a Selfie with Michael's Book. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go to the community. and I'm going to show you how much fun it is. Okay, I'm inside the community. Do you see this gentleman here?
Yes.
Yeah, look, that's my book, Law of Attraction, and I think it's an Indian language. And then below it, I have this woman. She's from Renate. She's from Norway. There's another woman holding it. There's somebody else. These are mother and her daughter team. There's these two people. This woman's holding a selfie on an iPad. There's Yolanda. This woman's reading. See how engaging. This woman's got the French version of my book. This guy's my buddy from New Zealand, or he's from Australia rather. So you see how much fun. This is the Hebrew version of my book. This is the UK version. They changed the covers, as you know. That's the Danish version. And here's another version. Lots of different versions of my book. This is the Malay version of my book. So my purpose in telling you that is that you can definitely. Okay. Oh, I'm just going to turn off my screen share. You can definitely get lots of engagement. With in your, with other things about your book, not just to be on the Google Hangout, but what you do with the other people. So,
wow.
Yeah. So so I'm going to encourage people to check out my show, hangoutwithmichael.com, to see how I'm really very gently selling lots of books without selling lots of books. Not just books. I'm selling programs. I have 20-hour programs. I have a 4-hour abundance program. I have a 4-hour law of attraction for business, and I do them all using Google Hangouts. It's much easier than traveling.
One of the things that a lot of authors are not aware of is that your book is not just a book. Out of that coaching program, like what you've done, in multiple ways, correct?
Well, it depends on what kind of book it is. If it's for example, if it's a Chicken Soup for the Soul series, there's no processes there to sell, right? I'm a trainer. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a trainer, and my book is a how-to book. See the worksheets and the forms and everything? So my book is just the calling card for my programs, because this is a process. If this was a book about law of attraction success stories, that's it. Here's a bunch of success stories, but there's nothing else to upsell people to. So here's the processes of law of attraction, and I can teach from it. Same with law of connection. It's like a seminar. Same with fulfillment needs. They're not stories about fulfillment. This is not stories about connection. They are processes. And and I train facilitators, and I always say, make sure you call yourself a trainer, because trainers make more money. Who do they make more money from than speakers? If you're a speaker, you go in, do a talk, and leave. If you're a trainer, you can have other things to sell. Programs, Google Hangouts. I'm going to China in January. There's a hotelier conference, 400 hoteliers from 40 provinces. You know what I'm going to sell there? Nothing. You know what I'm going to tell them? They're all going to love my Law of Attraction presentation. I'm going to let them know, because I'm going to give them a little card. And I'm going to let them know that I can do this same training that I did today in this room of 400. I can do it with your group over a Google Hangout. So when these 400 hoteliers go back, they might want to say, you know what, we should have our managers learn this. Well, guess what? They can. I can sit here in Canada, and they can be anywhere in the world, and I can deliver a program. I'm sorry, trainers make more money. So if you're writing a book, make sure there's processes in it that people can follow. Like your program, write a book in 40 hours. That's not a love story about writing a book, right?
It's a practical how-to. This is how you do it step by step.
Yes, and that's what people pay for. They pay for knowledge and processes and information.
Fantastic. And now, living in an information age, Michael, people are bombarded with content. How do you know that you've written enough?
I don't know. I've been writing this other book, Fulfillment Needs, for 4 years, and my publisher my agent keeps saying, when are you going to be done? And I said, I don't know. She said, are you almost done? I said, yeah, but the last 10% could take 10 years. I won't know it until it's done. It's really close. You know, with all of my seminars, with all my books, they were seminars first. So I've actually delivered this seminar in New York, Phoenix, Hong Kong, Singapore. I've done this seminar all over the world. Why? I had to master the material. And now I'm taking all of the seminar processes and turning it into a book. So when I publish this, there'll be no changes necessary because I'll have worked all the kinks out in my seminars.
So basically, run to your audience. You've run seminars, gotten feedback, you've gotten a lot of questions that have helped you refine the content book, correct?
That's right. You know, that would be another tip about how to write a self-help or a how-to book. Well, you need to master the how-to, and you need to make sure that you're teaching it to a lot of different students because of this. You know, you'll get feedback from different. Oh, I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me. I didn't see what you mean. In other words, you have to find out that a lot of people can get it. You know, there's a reason why it's called a self-help book, because you need to be able to do it yourself. So even my fulfillment needs book, I'm teaching people a process on how to find out. You and I could go for coffee, and I could do it for you in 20 minutes. But I can't go to a coffee shop with everybody, so that's what the channel. How do I make that process, which was quite intuitive for me to help people, how do I turn that into a process where you're going to need to test it over and over? And honestly, I'm in Singapore, everyone's working on it, and I'm walking around the room, and a guy held up his hand, and I went to look at his worksheet, which is taken from the book, and he was putting two little X's in some of the boxes, and I forget the whole scenario, but because I looked over his shoulder, I said, "Oh, tell me about that." And he says, "Well, you didn't say it should be one check per box." And I thought, you know what, I didn't say that. And then I started looking at his worksheet, and he was like the devil's advocate for me. His worksheets were totally different than they were supposed to look. But it taught me that I didn't give good enough instruction. So then I do the same seminar somewhere else. I updated them, and I updated them. And now they're pretty much ready to go, right?
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So by getting feedback, and you can actually see where you know, but you don't know what your readers.
Yes, and really paying attention to the 4 styles, and you know, not if it's just a page of text. I'll just show you an example. This is my style of a book: graphics, charts, worksheets, and in every book I have characters. You know, her name is Visual Vicky. So and the kinesthetic people like there's characters in here, and the thinkers like that there's check marks and boxes and everything. If it was all text, it would bore people. So again, there are different tips outside of what we're talking about, but I want writers to get it. If you write from your own style, you might lose 75% of your audience because there are different styles than you. But we definitely inspired a lot of people today on why they should be considering Google Hangouts. And it doesn't have to be a weekly show. It could just be you with a panel of other people that have read your book, or some of your fans, or people that have taken your program. Let them sell your products. You just have to host the party.
I absolutely thank you so much for coming online today and sharing. I'm really happy that I've been able to interview you and give my authors another way to look at their content and to see how they can best sell their books. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And out of the 5 tips today, which one have you applied already since learning it?
Well, I must say when we started Hangouts, I didn't have the 2/3 yes.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing I learned how to do, is to put my URL.
Yeah, so now people
so
watching
thank you so much, Michael.
can go there, they know your name, they can get the website address, so, and then you'll see a spike in traffic. It was a fun interview today, and I like sharing the beauty and the glory of using Google Hangouts to help sell more books and your programs.
Thank you, Michael. Don't go away.